The mezzanine is finished. Woohoo! So I'm going to give you a complete tour and walk you through all the best features. So super excited to show you around this big new structure. I'm just going to flip the camera around and walk you through it. So there you have it. Finished mezzanine and loading bay for the pallet rack, which I'll give you a demonstration of in a minute. Had the electrician here this morning as well, and we've put all in the outside socket wires that will come through. There's going to be about 25, believe it or not, going all the way down this wall at various places. And it sounds a lot, but you never can have too many sockets. So that is in place. But we have now everything ready for next week when the guys will come in and hopefully start fitting out all the rooms down here. And that's the really expensive part. But that's standard work and they should knock that out within a couple of weeks. Wireless access points going in for Wi-Fi. The actual lighting will be fitted after the ceilings are in because that will be on conduit, but it'll come from this center aisle, so there'll be minimum conduit on the ceiling of the mezzanine. This obviously is the warming room, and this obviously is the extraction room. Now the extraction line will shortly go back in place. We will fit it down, bolt it down, get that all in place, check it's all aligned properly, and then we will take it off again because after that we have the resin on the floor going down. So we'll be able to take it off, just leave the bolts sticking up. It will all be resined on top of that. The whole area is going to be done, as I said before. And then that will mean that the extraction line, when it goes back in place, will look absolutely perfect on the resin floor. It'll be all fixed down and working by then, hopefully, when the electrician comes. So let me show you some of the features of this mezzanine. So as I said before, it's all metal. There is 11 posts that support the mezzanine, and to me, it's kind of quite weird to see all that weight up there, let alone without any load, supporting this huge structure. But I'm told that it's all designed to be like that. The balustrades are all fitted. Very happy with that. It's solid. It doesn't really make any difference to me what they look like, to be honest, because it's just a balustrade in a workshop. But it's nice. It's actually quite a nice finish on it, and quite happy with that. Staircase is all in. There is a backing to it as well, which surprised me. So once that was in and bolted down, this then has a cover that is, I don't know, maybe that'll stop dust falling down, blah, blah, blah. But the staircase is in and everything is functional. So let's go up the top and have a little look at the loader, or the loading bay. So this is a standard European spec loading bay. It's designed so that you can be up here and not put yourself at any danger while you're loading and unloading. I'm going to try and attempt to film me loading in a minute and show you how that works. But you'll see the size of the floor area here. Let's have a pan around. Let's start in this corner. So there you go. It's not very good with the light here, I'm afraid, but it's not bad. It's a little bit hazy, the picture, because there you go, that's better. It's not focusing that well, it's just poor light. And it doesn't seem to like these LED lights either. But that gives you some idea of the floor space. So that's one corner. We'll go to the far corner now. Yeah, I cannot believe I've just walked all the way, but all on mezzanine. Here we go. So this is the other corner. That's where I was just before. And I go over here and you get the view of the whole of the honey house. Okay, so there is the steps going up. And there's the loading bay. So it is an absolutely fantastic area. And what I've done is I've effectively transferred all the space from underneath to above, and I haven't lost anything. I've still got the loading capacity, and then I get the rooms underneath. So I wanted to just go through the reasons why I decided to put in this expensive mezzanine. The cost is approximately 40K. And obviously some of that's VAT or VAT, TVA in France we call it, which I can claim back through the business. And I've got a grant towards that, 35% of that I'll get back when they inspect it and say, yeah, because it comes under the bracket of modernisation of buildings, and it allows me to build all the rooms underneath. So that's the way basically it works. And it's a lot of money, but the investment is worth it because I've effectively got all the floor space from underneath above, so that now I can develop the underneath space, but use the mezzanine as well to help me develop that space. Because if I didn't have the structure in place, I couldn't put all the insulation boards in and create the rooms. If I'd done it the other way, where I just built a block building inside, it would have been actually less energy efficient and actually cost me more. So that's the reasons why I did it. And also because I went to Ollie's farm in Ireland to see my mate Ollie Nolan and saw what he'd done. And when I realized the potential you have when you build a mezzanine, you have another place, another room, extra space. Not that I really need it, but you can see I've condensed all the current stuff that isn't out down to here. And all that very shortly will come up here to the mezzanine and start to be distributed. To be honest, I'm probably not going to paint anywhere at the moment, but I can bring the pallet mover up here, the manual one, easily, but I may even just get a second-hand one for up here, which will mean I can move all the gear around. All this is spare panels I've got to build stuff downstairs. I've got a few little things to do if I want to. I've got a few little holes to fill in if I want to, but generally there's nothing to do. It's ready to use, so I'm super happy with that. So let me show you how the loader works. On the ground here, we have some reinforcing panels, metal sheets that help protect the wood just around the area of the loading bay. So say you're downstairs and you want to load it on, you simply reverse the loader so it's open that way, and this side you're completely protected, so you can't fall out of the loading bay if that was your intention. So here you can now load from downstairs. So we'll now do that. We're going to go downstairs and load the loading bay, and I'll stick the camera on that right over there and show you how it works. So I have to say, super duper product. I can get the pallet mover, the pallet pump up here, and then move anything around to where I want. And yes, you're right, this whole place is going to fill up pretty quick, but at least everything's accessible, and at least I've got room to put stuff and move it around. I haven't worked out what I'm going to put on the floor yet. I think you're all going to say, well, probably that will get missed. I hope it won't. I'm going to try and put all my stuff in one area for now, and then leave one area clear and get that treated, and then move everything to that area, because there is enough room up here to do that. But with this machine and the pallet machine downstairs, it's an absolute bonus to the whole work of the honey house. Worked out perfectly. I spent a lot of time choosing the right size machine, and when I spoke to my electricians this morning, they couldn't believe that this machine does what it does. It's perfect for the honey house, and I got it at the same price or for cheaper than it would have cost me to rent a proper forklift for a week and a half. It would be nearly 2 weeks. We had a big scissor lift here that did the support. You saw that on the, I'll show you the picture now of it. But what I also managed to do was there was a few of these roofs that didn't quite click together when we put the roof on the building originally. And what I was able to do with the scissor lift, and obviously being up here, because I can get to it now from this side, but in all these areas here, I was able to go right up in the lift and then just knock the beams, click the final bits of metal in. And that to me is like another job done, because I've been looking at it for ages thinking, I wish I could just get to that, but I couldn't get to it. So now everything up the top is straight as it should be. It's all finished and all tidy, which makes me really happy, as you can imagine. But I'm going to get another one of them for up here, I think, a second-hand one, and I can just leave it up here, and it means I haven't got to move that one upstairs from downstairs. But it is dead easy to move up, because you saw me do it before. You just slide it onto the forks, and then it's up here, and then you can use it as much as you want, obviously. But overall, what a great piece of kit. Really pleased. Safe handling of equipment. I'm not going to bring heavy gear up here anyway. I'm not going to bring enormously large amounts of heavy stuff. All the heavy pallets like the syrup will always stay downstairs, but jars will come up here out the way. They're less likely to get broken if they're in a place that can be accessed when you need them. So overall, really pleased with this. There's the first pallet of storage. I know there's other ones here, but this is all my crap I'm going to bring up over the next few days. And that will stay there for now to collect some dust. I will probably actually cover this over with some tarps I've got, and it will just keep it clean. I like to have my frames kept clean before I use them. But what a workspace. Really pleased. It's amazing when you get up in here, the extra space you create. I just, you know, it's lost space before. And now we can get the rooms built and everything finished. You can see here, we've also received some stainless steel tables. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. I've also got stainless steel shelving that sits on this, goes that way up. So there's 4 big shelves. Sorry, there's 4 there and there's 4 there. So I've got 16 meters of shelving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2. It's 16 meters of shelving to go across the back here when we start fitting out the honey house. But it's here already to be used, but I'm just going to leave it covered up. Obviously, I don't want to get it scratched. Nice finish on it. Beautiful. I'm tempted just to spend all evening peeling this stuff, but I'm going to wait until it's all unpacked. So this is the reason why I took photos of everything when we put the concrete down, or just before, because we had to find a place for this beam, and we did, because here is where the beam can go. There's the water pipe there. There it is, and this place is clear. So we were able to screw that in there, knowing it's not going to go into any pipes. But there's nothing in them anyway, but there will be electricity pipes in them after. But it's just having that knowledge so that we can put a support beam here, and that means we didn't have to have these cables, cross cables to brace things to make sure that the whole mezzanine is self-supporting. The other ones are in. We're just waiting for 2 plates for the ones that are in the zone of the underfloor heating. That's being made right now. That plate will go to there. And this one is sufficient with 2 bolts on it. That's fine. They're happy with that. That's on. And there's 1 plate for over there to take that bolt over that side. But overall, really pleased. It's in, it's done. Moving on to the next stage next week, I hope, and fingers crossed it should all be fine. There's going to be a few issues. I'm not quite sure how they're going to fit the ceiling out. That's their job, not mine. But there you go. The mezzanine is done, complete. On to the next phase. And what a fantastic piece of kit it is too. Totally delighted with that.